There we go. You too. 15 seconds. Oh my gosh.
Hey, before you skip
Let
this
me
ad,
mute
this
my
is
screen.
nonstop and enjoy.
There we go. Should have hit that mute button before I hit record. Let me change my my chat from top chat to live chat. Hey, Jane Rice, you're the first one in. I'm just setting up the screen that's in front of me, but behind you guys. Oh, it just disappeared. Every time a new commercial comes on the desktop, because the desktop version shows the commercials, whatever I've just typed into the button deletes, and then I have to start over again. And unless I'm doing a premiere, I can't set it up ahead of time. I have to manually go in each time and set this up. So if you're watching at the beginning on the replay, you might want to fast forward to the first minute or two on all of these lives. Okay, let me just set up this screen here so I can make sure that I'm seeing all of your messages. Yeah, I wish there was a way for me to set it up ahead of time, but there isn't. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to like say hello to everybody and someone says not interested. Okay. Come see me again tomorrow. Time out. Terrain. Hello. Pauline, hello. Kathy X50. There's a lot today on Nancy. Yes, there is. Catherine B, hello. There is a lot. Let me just give it a few minutes here to let people come in. Now, some of this, one of the stories that we're going to talk about in a moment, this is not really new information. It's just, ABC just made a post like, that there's new information about Bahar. Well, it's not really new. But there's some other interesting new information. But I had already made the thumbnail and I didn't want to start over again. So I can always change it later. But yeah, there are quite a few things in the news today. And I am on a little bit early. And let me see if I set this up. Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, and let me turn off my notifications so we don't get kicked off. And let me know if you can still hear me because I am back on the old microphones, but there's two of them. So I don't know which one is which. So if you have any audio issues or if I have audio issues, let me know. I'm going to make you wait just because you asked me that, Patty. Why don't you go over to Clutch Them Pearls and go through that half-hour intro? Or go over to my friend DeJuice, who's awesome, and go through like a 20-minute intro. Yeah, this is a live YouTube, a live stream on YouTube, Patty. Oh, glad you're here to explain. Hello, Elaine. There's one of my pips just came in, Margaret Lund. Yeah, YouTube doesn't work that way, where I come on the air and in 2 seconds I go, okay, here's the story, and 5 minutes later, goodbye. It doesn't work that way. Like I said, the big channels have 20 to 30-minute intros. I might do that just to piss everybody off one day. But I'm not on StreamYard or OBS where I could, put all that intro stuff in and just sit here and go, okay, let's just be counting my super chats. And I'm not even on the air yet. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to take my sweet time now, Patty. Thank you, Sandra. Says it sounds good. Terrain 17 says, I hear you. Okay, what did I miss? Elaine Grasso, hello, glad you're here to explain new something that's reading the KS. Okay. You might have to explain that again, Elaine. Haven't heard anything new today, Sandra, on that. Oh, Dolly Vision has the longest intro? Yeah, remember, they're professional YouTubers. Thank you, Margaret. Yeah, usually I get complaints about that. I'll still wait for you to start because you're worth it. Thank you, Catherine B. You know, you can always come in later, Patty, on the replay. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Oh, Suzanne, thank you for the 100. No, I do not follow Snow the Eagle terrain. I would love Dolly. I know Dolly, the lady that's in Australia, but I don't know the other Dolly. Dolly Vision's intro is annoying. Yeah, this is a live stream. This is not a long form content video where you've got to do the 10-second intro or 5-second, maybe even 3-second, and then put in the hook immediately. Like, no, this is a live stream. This is a vertical live stream on a mobile device. And hopefully you guys can't hear that my neighbor is vacuuming yet again. And there's no crawl space between our units. Last week we had a saw. They were putting in some lady's floor. EWZ, don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm dragging it out. We're trying to make Patty happy here. I'm just messing with you guys today. You can't hear the vacuuming. Good. Yeah, because I got the cheap mics on today. Because apparently on the expensive gifted mics, the ones that I've wanted for years and years and years, you guys can't hear me very well on the replays, especially if you're not on a mobile device. And I noticed it too because I started listening to the old replays and then the more recent replays since I changed the mics. And then a couple days ago, I did a live where 4,003 people came in and I didn't have any mics. And not one person out of 4,000 people said, "Hey, April, where are your mics?" So you guys got to, make sure I'm on top of things. Thank you for putting in the little Kelsa kitty emoji. Yeah, you guys that are the pips, my channel members, you can use the custom emojis. Let's just get this started because there's a lot going on today. For those that are new here, I'm April Davis PI. It's so hard to talk with the vacuum right over my head. I am here in Los Angeles. I'm a California licensed private investigator. I've been reporting on Nancy Guthrie since February the 2nd, 2026. Today, sadly, is day number 180. We are 2 days away from the start of the 7th month, which is crazy. Hello, Leanne. Dolly Vision is based out of Chesapeake, Virginia. His intro is long even on his lives. Yeah, go see Clutch Them Pearls. Somebody told me to watch a video there, and I thought, huh? I must be on the wrong channel, or I don't understand. And then I just gave up. I didn't realize you have to listen that long. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody can do their channel however they like. You know what, Elaine? Somebody said that today in another live that Annie Guthrie is in Vermont. However, that has not been confirmed. It could be true, but it may not be true. I've had people come into my chat early on in the case that said, "Oh, Annie and Tommaso were hauled away in handcuffs and they've just been arrested." No, they haven't. So I did hear that Vermont story, but there's nothing about that story that's been confirmed. Now, I have heard the story today about Carlos, And I have, our little DoorDash friend, Carlos Palazuelos, who I adore him. He's such a little cutie. And I especially would love to meet the brother-in-law, the one that was sitting in the chair with the headphones on playing video games when the FBI bulldozed down his mother-in-law's door, and he got snatched right out of his living room chair and, drug outside to the front lawn in handcuffs going, what the F just happened? We got a name on that dude today, which I'm so happy. But there's also it's a breaking story with ABC, but it's not really breaking because we talked about it 2 days ago, about the hair that was found, the rootless hair that initially the sheriff's department had in their custody, and they sent it to their private paid lab in Florida rather than letting the FBI take it when they had a fixed-wing aircraft on the ground in Tucson ready to fly it to Quantico. And it took 3 months for the lab in Florida to give up and turn it over to the FBI. And now there's this big breaking story, but it's not breaking. That's basically saying the hair found in Nancy Guthrie's home not linked to a suspect. But that's nothing new. This is not new news. Nanos recently gave an interview to some kid, and now people are reading between the lines. And once again, he's contradicting himself. This person's a suspect. Nobody's a suspect. Now nobody's been cleared. This is all old news. But I'll read it just for craps and giggles. Testing on the hair found at the Tucson, Arizona area home of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother is complete and does not point to a suspect in the 84-year-old's abduction, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told ABC News on Thursday. Well, nobody else is running with this story yet, though. I did see it on JLR, and I had already seen it earlier today. The hair was done and there was nothing. Okay. That leaves a mixed sample of DNA. They had already said that it was a mixed sample. And that's why they were having such a difficult time, because not only was it rootless, but it was mixed. So this is not new news to me. Just because he said something to the press, people are like, oh, this is breaking news. It says that leaves a mixed sample of DNA retrieved from Nancy Guthrie's home as the only known piece of biological evidence, and one that has so far not been affirmatively linked to a suspect. Yeah, we talked about this 2 days ago, about how he mentioned genealogical companies now being involved. We just talked about that. Go back on the last couple of days' videos, and I said, I'm not banking on the rootless hair, and I'm not banking on Front Porch Guy or anybody that was in that house being in CODIS. The sample is a mix of as many as 4 people. Yeah, she owned the house since 1975. I'm not banking on this at all. It's not clear the technology even exists yet to untangle it, though the sheriff said multiple labs across the country are trying, including the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia, and labs in Kansas, Florida, California, and Arizona. We've talked about that before. The hair in Kansas, the hair in California. That's the lab in San Francisco that was used on the Koberger case. This is nothing new, people. This is just a story that caught the wire today. Is that the hair from her bedroom? I think so, Elaine. My understanding is there are at least 5, maybe 6 labs across the country that are working on all of this. We have some of the brightest minds in the nation, if not the world, working on this. This is nothing new. But some, channels are very clickbaity to get, millions of people in. And I understand, because that's what they do for a living, and they're very good at it. Investigators believe Guthrie was taken from her home in the early hours of February 1st by a masked man, captured on her doorbell camera. But 6 months later, Nanos is unable to say whether the masked man was working alone. I don't think anybody here is ready to say it's one guy. It's 10 guys, Nanos said. Did he have help? Could have. Yeah, he's not saying anything. He's just beating around the bush. Nanos still believes the case is solvable. I agree with that, and he applauded Savannah Guthrie for keeping it in the spotlight through her Instagram posts, including one just this week. Yeah, that was on Monday. We talked about that already. This is all old news, people. Somebody in our community, somebody out in this world knows something. Call us, tell us, give us that information. Somebody knows where Nancy's at. We need their help. Yeah, there's nothing new about this information. Hobble one. Something I forgot to mention on Gang Connection. Gang initiation explains botched crimes. Okay. Let's see. I don't think that's the situation here, but that's just my own personal opinion, and everybody here can have their own opinion. Hello, Deanna. Nanette, I don't know if I acknowledged that he came in. Yeah, he's just, you know how he is. Everybody's a suspect. The family's not a suspect. Now everybody's a suspect again. It's just him talking out of his rear end. Okay, this is nothing new. If you go back on the last couple days' lives that I did on Nancy Guthrie, and we talked about this exact same thing. This is nothing new. Now, what is news or new news today, and I could see this coming, since February, and now they finally done it. It says, this is the breaking part. Man detained in Guthrie case files notice of claim against Pima County Sheriff's Department. And of course, you guys are going to say, what's a notice of claim? Well, that's basically that an Arizona notice of claim is a formal written document required before you can sue a public entity, public school, or public employee. So if you want to sue the police department in Arizona, you got to file a notice of claim. It must be filed within 180 days, state specific facts, and include a clear settlement dollar amount. Yeah, and good for Carlos, and good for Carlos's mother-in-law, and good for his brother-in-law, who was just sitting there with the headsets, and he was just yanked out of his shoes and dragged to the front lawn like, what happened? Okay, here we go. Carlos Palazuelos and two others are seeking more than $3 million, claiming they were wrongfully targeted. Good for you, Carlos. It's about time. Birdie, if it was me, I would have scanned the whole area there myself, the whole area. My DNA in Arizona said not much news there about NG. Your DNA? What about your DNA, Pauline? Poor kid, says Nanette. Hey, Jackie West, one of my pips. So here it is. A man detained and released during the Nancy Guthrie disappearance investigation, along with two family members, is seeking $3.25 million from Pima County. Now, before I even read further, I knew who they were talking about. Thank you for the star, mostly dolls. Helicopters, we're up to 2 pennies today. Thank you. No, those pennies really do add up. They make a huge difference monthly. A Phoenix law firm, and we already know who that is. We've already talked about that guy before. Filed a notice of claim against the Pima County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Chris Nanos and Detective Earl Gueron, on behalf of 3 people who say they were wrongfully targeted during the investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. The claim filed this week seeks a combined $3.25 million on behalf of Carlos Palazuelos. Yes, and we already talked about why he was wrongly targeted. Josephina Maddox, got to be the mother-in-law. And Daniel Maddox, got to be her son, Carlos's brother-in-law, in other words, his wife's brother, who was sitting in the family room or the living room with the headsets on, headphones, whatever you want to call them, playing video games. And all of a sudden, the battering ram or whatever comes and knocks the front door down. He doesn't hear it because he's like into his video games. And he's literally snatched out of his chair, snatched out of his shoes, dragged to the front lawn where he's handcuffed and detained, going, in Spanish, what the F just happened to me? And, the lady's like, oh my God, like you can search my house. Like we have nothing to hide. Because they were like, where's the lady? Where's the lady? Like, what lady? That was the night that the rumor was that she was on a helicopter, meaning Nancy, from Rio Rico, and they were rushing her to a Tucson, trauma center. Never happened, people. The claim filed this week seeks a combined $3.25 million. Yeah, I just said that. Now, Carlos himself, good for him. Because you remember, he couldn't drive DoorDash without his phone. And his white van that was used for the deliveries in Tucson, not the DoorDash, but for the package deliveries, that was broken. That had been broken down. So, it was just he and his wife out in his wife's car doing the DoorDash that Friday night when they got snatched. And I remember, this was days before the whole, Luke Daly thing happened. So Carlos is seeking $2.5 million. The claim says he was arrested at gunpoint on February the 10th. Didn't I just say that? That was a few days before Friday, February 13th, and held for approximately 7 to 8 hours before being released without charges. Yeah, that was on the side of the road. And he actually pulled over himself, like, hey, why are you following me? Let me just stop for a moment and say I've got 58 people here watching, only 19 thumbs up. Hello, Don. Thanks for coming in. Daniel, that's the video gamer guy, even though they don't say this, but I know, because it's got to be him. It's got to be him. Daniel Maddox is seeking $500,000. That's all? I'd go for at least $1 million. He was handcuffed and held under armed guard outside the family home during the same incident, according to the claim. So remember, Carlos was on the side of the road in 2 different police cars for all those hours, while little Daniel, who I know has got to be the video game guy, was out in the front lawn in handcuffs, Oh my gosh. So he was held under armed guard. That it would be Daniel, the brother-in-law. Now, they don't say that that's her brother-in-law, but I know that's who it is. Josephina, they don't say who that is, but that's his mother-in-law. She's the homeowner, is seeking $250,000 for property damage. That's it? They busted her front door down. Why not go for psychological damage as well? So she's only asking for $250,000. Her son, and they don't say this is her son, but I know it is asking for $500,000, and Carlos is just seeking a mere $2.5 million. He'll get at least $1 million out of it. The law firm Robbins, Curtin, Amelia, and Showalter, remember that name? We talked about him before? Jesse Showalter filed the claim on the family's behalf. It's about time, Carlos. So it's not a lawsuit yet. It's just the notice of claim, because legally they have to do that first in Arizona if they're going to sue a government official. Oh, gosh. And then they put in quotes, like he himself had been kidnapped. That would be, Carlos. According to the claim, deputies followed Carlos before stopping him. They didn't stop him. Carlos voluntarily pulled over because he wanted to confront them and say, why are you following me? All the way from Tucson. According to the claim, deputies followed Carlos before stopping him. When he pulled over to determine why he was being followed, officers pointed guns at him and placed him under arrest. No, they didn't. Who writes this crap? He was not arrested. He was detained. He also was not pulled over. He was being mobilely surveilled. They were following him. Carlos voluntarily, they didn't even have the bubblegum machine lights on. He just thought, why are these effers following me? And he pulled over and he was detained. He was not arrested. So don't believe everything you hear. He was held in the back of a patrol vehicle. Well, actually, he was held in the back of 2. Nanette says, yes, it was time to sue the SWAT team. B&B Pay Dirt Prospecting. Oh my gosh. How are you, my friend? This is one of my friends, Bob, from the Gold Community. He sent the press F. Thank you. Mostly Dolls Helicopter sent the happy poop. B&B sent the flow state. That's one of my favorites, Bob. I hope you and your wife and your adorable little daughter is doing well. How is she doing? DNA warrant issued. Don't know about that. Are you talking about that night when they got Carlos? Or are you talking about now? Yeah, sometimes I get a little emotional, Bob, about all of this. Let's see. Let me go back because I've missed a few comments. I'm sorry. And then there was the reporter that was arrested for no reason in front of Nancy's house. Yeah, multiple YouTubers were arrested. And let me tell you, and I don't have any inside information, but those lawsuits are coming. There's going to be lawsuits revolving around this case for years. And especially with the crime scene being released in about 20 hours. It was less than 24 hours that the family was already on the property. Mostly Dolls Helicopters. I am a PIP. Yes, you are. If you don't know what that is, Bob, that's my channel members. They are members. They are part of the PI posse. So they're the PIPs. That's where that's coming from. Because people go, what's a PIP? How do I become a PIP? I just don't understand with all these ears and eyes. They supposedly have nothing. It is shocking, isn't it, Don McWhorter? Wrong one. Sorry. Hi, April. Ella is good. Just wanted to stop in and see how you were. I'm doing good, Bob. You know, in the last week, the channel, as small as it is, went from 3,600 subscribers to 4,000 to 5,000 just a day later to 6,000 a couple of days ago, and I'm almost at 7,000, and that's all happened in 1 week's time, Bob. Of course, I've only been working at this for 5 years and 7 months. So I'm not rich yet, my friend. Every dime that I've made is going to pay myself back for all the expenses I put into it. And you know how that is, Bob, because you put way more into your channel than you ever get out of it when you're just starting. But, you know, we're talking 5 years and 7 months. So it's a good thing, but I'm still, you know, I'm not a YouTube success story. But that's not why I'm doing it. I know, isn't it? Because you're a small channel like me, so you understand. He says, "Holy cow!" I love that. Holy cow, Batman! You're doing amazing. Thank you, Bob. That means a lot coming from you, because I feel like, you know, since you're in the gold community, you're one of my friends. Nanette got all of her labs done today. Mostly Dolls Helicopters. Yes, in with the Canadian $2 super chat. The first super chat of the day. Everybody give Mostly Dolls Helicopters a thumbs up. So yeah, this story about the rootless hair and that it's multiple people and they haven't had a match, that's nothing new. That's just some agency breaking a story. But all the other agencies aren't even talking about it because it's not new. Because we talked about it days before. We talked about it months ago. If you haven't been watching this series, go back from the beginning. Now, there is new news today, but I had already made the thumbnail when it comes to the information about Carlos Palazuelos. And I'm just assuming that obviously Josefina Maddox is his mama-in-law, and Daniel Maddox is probably her son, the brother-in-law. And I can't believe he's only asking for $500,000, Daniel Maddox. And the mom, who actually had property damage, is only asking for $250,000. And she was completely cooperative. And remember, we talked about this in the past, that Carlos Alberto Palazuelos has a father who is presumed to be Carlos Alberto Palazuelos Sr., who lives in Tucson and is known as a registered S offender in the area. And when this first happened, the police were actually looking at registered S offenders in the area because they didn't know yet what might have happened. This was even before like ransoms were being sent. First they were looking at a missing senior, then they were thinking, was it an S assault? You know, then it was later that they were like, oh my God, this is a kidnapping for ransom. And then 8-9 days after that, they had a guy, a masked man, and on the Nest footage, like, oh my God, we really got something bigger than what we thought we had. But remember his father, and remember Carlos was also not only a DoorDash driver, mostly in Tucson, even though he lives in Rio Rico, at least an hour or more away. But he worked for a company that delivered for Amazon and FedEx and UPS, like a third-party delivery carrier. And so in a white van, and the report was, there's been a white van in the neighborhood surveilling Nancy. You know, oh my God, it's a man in a white van. That was probably a delivery driver. Okay. And they even asked Carlos, have you ever been to her house? And he's like, maybe, like, you know, You know how many deliveries they do in a day? You don't remember anything like that. B&B prospecting. Oh my God. Here's to your success. Congrats on the growth. Bob, you need to send me an email about, do you have any? I need a small bag of pay dirt, but I'm going to have to wait because I had to replace the broken sofa this week, and I still have to replace the broken mattress that's needed to be replaced for at least 6-7 years. But I keep you as one of the top people. If anybody needs any pay dirt, this is the guy to go to. Go subscribe to his channel, B&B Pay Dirt Prospecting. He's one of the best. Thank you so much. That means so much. I'm just like, could cry. Like, seriously, like, it's so nice to see occasionally when my friends from the gold community come in here. Kermudge, he's one of my mods, as is Hearts of Gold Prospecting out of Maine. Lynn Broad says, congrats on your recent subscriber boost. Thank you, Lynn. Another pip. Kelsers, howdy, y'all. Once again, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'll catch up later. No problem. I'm just glad you're here. How you doing, Kelsers? Wow, Bob, that's just like way too generous, but thank you. Appreciate that, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just haven't had time to like watch your lives because I'm just so busy, like with this story, and then there was the Jackie story that happened, and that's what really blew up the channel, even more so than Nancy Guthrie. I mean, Nancy Guthrie started to build the audience and it actually started moving, and I got remonetized again at the end of March. And that's not why I was doing this. I never expected for that to happen ever again, because the first time I was monetized, apparently YouTube didn't like the way I was handling my channel, and they went, "You're out." No, they didn't kick me off. They were like, "You have 90 days to come back on." But then I had deleted most of my videos. And speaking of videos, I know we've been talking about Nancy, but this is very important. If you go to the main channel page and you see my bio, and then it says, click here, and then you see all the channel links, including the Amazon store. Once you go to the bottom, it'll show you like the lifetime views. But if you have videos that are privatized, or you have videos that you deleted, those views are not counted in that total. But YouTube, they still keep track of those views. And I know like a big channel would kind of, well, they would laugh at me if I brought this up. Let me go to my analytics, because I found something the other night on the back end. And even though I took down like a quarter to a third of my channel, I guess YouTube kept track of those totals. Let me go to, I've got a big piece of equipment in front of me, so I have to like look around it to see. But I checked in last night. It was probably early this morning because, I don't sleep at night. It says that my lifetime views are 982.9K. That means that I'm only about 17,000 views, which I've been getting more than that in a day. Don't expect that today because I didn't release a long form content video today. But I am almost at 1 million views. Now, for a big channel, like big channels have hundreds of millions of views. There's a guy I've been watching in Florida the last few nights. He's got over 1 billion views, and he's only 24 years old. Like, oh my God. Like, I am not a professional YouTuber, but I am this close to 1 million views. So everybody, go to the playlist. Watch those videos. Because, for me, that's a big deal. I'm going to make a big deal about it. I know how it goes, says B&B Paydirt. Let's see. Daniel Garcia, my friend. He's one of my pips as well. Hey there, April. Have you heard the latest according to what Ashley Banfield said? She got resources from Pima County deputies that T is a prime suspect. Yes, I heard that. And I was also, before I went on the air, I was just kind of like lurking in the background of another YouTube channel. You know, when that information first came out, and I think it was maybe February 3rd, when she first said it, it was a federal law enforcement source. I remember her exact words, that it was a federal law enforcement source that told her that Tomato was the prime suspect. That was at the beginning of the case. Okay. And then, you know, the sheriff was like, well, no, you know, everybody's a suspect. And then later on, he said family, because he never refers to anybody by name. He was just like, family has been excluded, you know, and he'd get all teary-eyed about the family, you know, because they go fishing together and they're buddies. And, you know, maybe they're hitting the casinos together or going to the basketball games together. Who knows? This is all conjecture. Remember, everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty. I have never named a suspect, although you guys know I did send the letter, the 8-page dossier to the FBI. And I've talked to the FBI twice by phone, and I've consulted with a retired agent who, I must say, is not involved in this case. But there is a new report that's just come out saying that a Pima County source is saying what her federal law enforcement source said back in February, although it's almost August. And so there's a lot blowing up today because ABC put out the report about the DNA, but as I told you, we've already talked about that over and over and over. That's not new news at all. Then the Carlos story, that is new news. That just came out this afternoon. That is breaking news. But I've been hearing that too. I've also heard the Vermont story. It's probably complete BS, but could be true. The Vermont story that, you know, Tomato's other half has been in Vermont. May or may not be true. I'm not going to go with it because I don't like to talk about things that I can't confirm. Jeff says 1 million views is fantastic. I'm not there yet, Jeff, but I could be there within the next few days if people keep watching. Nanette subscribed to B&B Pay Dirt. Thank you, Nanette. He's got a great channel, and it's small like mine. It's just getting going. But like just getting going for like, how long you been on the air, Bob? Probably less than a year. This is for me, this is almost a 6-year gig to get to this point. It's just amazing though that in 1 week it went from 3.6 to 4 to 5 to 6, and I'm almost at 7. Like, oh my God. It's hot one out there, April. It's hot in the San Fernando Valley right now. And you know what? It's Daniel, I'm glad you mentioned that. Kelsers, I need to have you take over the chat for 10 seconds because it seems that LADWP has turned off my thermostat yet again. Thank you, Kelsers. If it was just me, I'd understand, but I've got a rabbit, and my rabbit can start stressing at 76. And it's only going to be hotter. Like, I won't even be able to do my laundry this weekend. It's supposed to be like triple digits. I'm tired of it already. Can we move to Alaska, everybody? If somebody could help me get there, and they could bring my Providence Hospital with me, and my electrophysiologist, cardiologist, and my oncologist, my labs, my pharmacy, they could bring everything right next door to me. I'm on the train to Alaska, let me tell you. Doug Dillner. So I'm not saying that at all. We're just confirming what one of the viewers said here, that Ashley Banfield is now saying that per a Pima County deputy source that he's still a suspect. Whereas prior, in early February, when this case just happened, she was saying that through a federal law enforcement source, that she had a federal law enforcement source, which I would assume was somebody in the FBI. But remember, the FBI, they claim they weren't brought in until the 5th. And Nanos has said they were brought in from the very first night. So we'll see. B&B, 1.5 years. I think my channel is too big I wanted 500, easier to be one-on-one. Well, how many subs do you have now, B&B? And make sure if you guys, especially if you're interested in gold prospecting, treasure hunting, definitely go hook up to B&B Pay Dirt Prospecting. How many, what are you at now, B&B? I'm not eligible to go on air, YouTube, just TikTok. Oh, you have a TikTok. You know what? I have a TikTok, but I like very rarely ever post on there. Bring all my specialists. I'd go to Alaska with you, April. Yeah. You know, I just started watching this couple the other night. I don't even know who they are. They're a military couple. And she just like popped up in my feed because I watch a lot of people from Alaska, and that's probably why she popped up. But she didn't even pop up she's not even on YouTube. I think her husband has like a teeny, tiny channel there. I don't even think it's monetized yet, but she popped up in my Instagram, and I was like, she's just walking down a sidewalk, pushing a baby stroller, and I saw this big mountain range behind her, and I'm like, that looks like the Shugok Mountains. That looks like Anchorage. And then I researched, oh, well, we're a military family that just moved to Alaska, and I'm like, I knew it. And then she said she was going to Target, and I'm like, well, they can't be at Eielson up near Moose Creek, North Pole, because they don't have any Targets up in Fairbanks, Alaska. She must be in Anchorage at a military base. Like, ding, ding, ding. She must be at Bear. Her husband must be in the military, like in the Air Force or the Army. And then I checked him out, and I'm like, definitely an Army guy. I could just tell, you know. And sure enough, they moved from a base in Georgia, but they don't have Southern accents. So I think they were at a base in Georgia, but they were from somewhere else. And they've got base housing. They got bears. They got moose. Like, I think they have their own, like, bowling alley, movie theater, commissary. The military pays for the majority of their groceries, pays for their housing. They've got a sweet place. They got a washer and dryer. I'm old enough to be their mother. Okay? I don't have a washer and dryer. You have to spend like $6,000-7,000 a month on rent to get a place in LA with a washer and a dryer. Like, damn it, I want to live on a military base in Alaska and have my own garage, have my own backyard where I can plant a garden in the summertime and have my own washer and dryer. I would be as happy as can be. But, you know, reality, I got to be here. I got to be close to my doctors. But, you know, at times like this, it crosses my mind. So, you know, I'm kind of living vicariously through this lady's Instagram now. You want a treasure hunt, you need to come to Portlock. But I'm not a ghost. Maybe once I'm, you know, gone, I'll have to come up there. Be right back, says Daniel. Hit the post button before I was done typing. So TNA are possible suspects. There's nothing new here, Doug. There's a bunny bouncing around in Nanette's backyard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's nothing new. You know, I just think after Savannah made that statement on Monday, and she seemed to be talking to someone personally, that's why all this is blown up today. And then you throw in Carlos's lawyer, Jesse Showalter, filing a claim, not a lawsuit yet, because in Arizona, per Arizona law, you got to file a notice of claim if you're going to sue a public entity and say, we're going to get you. And we want $3.25 million. And that would be $2 million or 2.5. Excuse me, I was almost mistaken. 2.5 for Carlos. Only $500,000 for Daniel, who's got to be the brother-in-law who was literally snatched out of his shoes. Oh my God. I could just see the battering ram going. He doesn't even hear it because he's like gaming. And all of a sudden, you know, he's snatched by the back of the shirt so fast that he snatched right out of his shoes, dragged out to the front lawn and handcuffed. Like, what the just happened? Like, and the mother's like, no, we're cooperating. And they're like, we're looking for the lady. We're looking for the lady. And then 5 minutes later, it was all over the scanners that there's a helicopter in Del Rio, or not Del Rio, Rio Rico. What is Del Rio? Rio Rico, there's a helicopter. There's an 84-year-old woman, and she's being rushed to a trauma center. in Tucson, you know. And, you know, Brian Itton said he drove like, I think 80, 85 to get down to Rio Rico because there's a raid, something's going on. And then they're like, there's a helicopter. And they're like, oh my God, get in the car, go back to Tucson. Like, check out all the hospitals. There was no Nancy. That guy has nothing to do with Nancy. Okay. And he even said later in the interview, it might have been mistaken identity based on his father. Obviously, he's not going to throw his father under the bus on national television. But I'd already looked it up, went like, oh, his dad, who's like in his 50s, is the alleged, well, not alleged, he's a convicted, registered S offender in Tucson. It's got nothing to do with Carlos. And then he was like, I can't deliver. Like, I got no phone. Like, what do I do? They won't give me my phone. And sue him, Carlos. And I'm not a big lawsuit type of person. Because as a PI, I'm usually the one fighting all these lawsuits. Sue him, Carlos. Sue him, Mrs. Maddox. Sue him, Daniel Maddox. Get him. Make them pay. You hear that, people of Tucson? That's what your tax dollars are going to have to pay for because of your incompetent sheriff that you voted for. Yeah, you voted for this mess. No, and there'd be no plumbing hookup, Catherine. This is an older building. There'd be no way to put a stackable. There's no water lines or drains. I put it in my living room. You know, I wouldn't care. Let's throw away the television and put the washer and dryer in the living room if there was a way to do that, but there isn't. Dawn says, innocent until proven guilty. Absolutely. The truth will eventually come out. Sounds like sooner than later. Well, that's positive thinking, Dawn. That's very positive, and I appreciate the positivity because the last few weeks I've become quite negative on this, thinking that this may not even be solved in my lifetime. Because remember, I've been on borrowed time since like 2016, and it's 2026, you know. You throw in the heart stuff, usually people have about 5 years after that, and that's been going on at least since 2023. We're almost at 2027. You know, I may not be here very long, you know. Well, I want this to be solved in my lifetime. I still want the JonBenet Ramsey case for the truth to come out. I still want them to find MH370. And you know, my neighbor, and not my neighbor in my lifetime, but my neighbor in the neighborhood, I got 2 videos about it, Amelia Earhart, they're getting ready to go do another search on Niku Maruro, if I'm pronouncing that right, island. It's part of the Gardner Islands. They're going back there. Watch some of my videos. There's Amelia Earhart everything around this neighborhood. There's a bronze statue. There's her house. There's a library. There's a school. Like, she lived in this area because of the Burbank Airport. She's never been brought home. But her home is like blocks away from me. Like, go see those videos. I want that to be put to rest in my lifetime. That happened before my parents were even born. And my parents are long gone. If they were here, they'd be in their late 80s now. Like, that happened before they were even here. I want that solved. I want JonBenet Ramsey solved. I mean, I've already got it pretty much figured out, but I want it publicly solved. I want MH370 to be found. You know, this thing with Nancy just happened February the 1st. You know, you're stuck with us another 30 years, April, at least. I hope you're right. Someone will have to take care of me. Maybe Ella can grow up and become a nurse. Oh my gosh. Let's see. How long will it take to get that strand of hair back from the lab? It could be years. I mean, they actually said that. It could be more than a year. And if you believe this article today, we talked about it before you came in, Kelser's like, that there's not a match. Well, we already knew that there wasn't a match and that it was a mixed sample strand. Now, what is it mixed with? I don't know. But see, somebody put out a story today about this, even though this is not new information. And now all the other YouTubers, they're running with it. Like, breaking news. There's nothing breaking about this hair yet. I wish I could tell you. What is that? Nana cannot hear you. I do have a very good video, though, about the death of Linda Hoffman Pugh, which is fairly recent. It's actually on my live tab. So you can go see that. But, I have to be careful what I say because, I'm on YouTube now. We talked about yesterday about how about 99.9% people have been so positive about the stories that I've been telling you about Jackie. It's the same thing about Nancy. I'm not investigating the case. I'm just reporting the news. When I talk about anything, whether it's true crime or this just happened or that just happened, I'm reporting the news. And somebody came in and they were all, I'm getting thousands of messages. I got messages from France, from Germany, from Italy, from Korea that I've had to translate because they're in other languages. I've never had so many people. I mean, here on Nancy, yeah, we have people from all over the world. Our best channel friend is from Israel. But I'm getting people from all over the world, and everybody's supporting the videos, and people are subscribing, and the comments are coming in, and the hypes are being thrown out. But some guy comes out and says, well, you're just a PI. You're not a veterinarian. Why do I have to listen to you? And it's like, I'm not a vet. I never claimed to be a vet. I'm not a veterinarian. Not an eagle doctor. I am a part-time YouTuber reporting a story. It's just like if you watch your local news or you watch the national news. Those people aren't veterinarians either. Heck, they're not even PIs. They're just reporting. I'm reporting. If somebody chooses to watch, great. I've made new friends. Okay? This keeps me distracted from the train wreck that my life has become since my medical issues. My life is a train wreck, a train disaster. Okay? It's a 3-alarm fire. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. I'm just keeping people informed. And most people from around the world are sending me messages like, thank you so much. Really enjoy your channel. I just subscribed. Really enjoy your video. But if you're upset because I'm not a veterinarian and I'm coming onto YouTube to talk about it, then go watch somebody else. Go try to find a vet channel. But that person took the time to watch my video and place a comment, which boosts the algorithm. What's the theory on JonBenet? I cannot say, but you can go check out my video, the live, on the death of the housekeeper. Yeah, we're just chatting, Nanette, or Nana. Nana. I had you confused with Nanette. So Nana cannot hear you. I like that. Weird Wig. What's going on, Weird Wig? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a long time. Hello, Rita Close. Oh my gosh. If I knew that getting more subs and more people watching would bring out some of these yahoos, I would have started writing down some of these classic comments, and I could do a whole video series about some of this. It's so funny. Oh, and Bob, you've probably missed it all if you're still here. Oh my God. Somebody brought up my triple chin, which is called the Davis family turkey neck. Um, Even though my teeth are in perfect condition, perfecto condition, um, because I'm a redhead and because of the lighting, my teeth can sometimes show up as yellow, but they're not. I'm just, I'm an older person, and people are like, "You got yellow teeth, and you got to get a new toothbrush and go to the dentist." Or there's been comments about my hair. Well, this is post chemo hair. It's never the same. Um, Comments about my weight. Well, I'm on a crap ton of medication. Was skinny my whole life, but see, I wasn't on here when I was skinny because I was busy working. Oh, also, did you hear I'm transitioning, Bob? I mean, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. Like, another one of those came in yesterday to ask me about how my transition was going. Like, you have to be kidding me. Uh, People get their panties in a bunch easily, so sensitive. And self-hate is also reflected by how they treat others. I guess so. But you know what? I'm a PI and I'm used to the abuse. People look at PIs like they look at cops, or they look at PIs like what they've seen on TV. And oh, you're a scumbag and you're just following cheating spouses. No, I'm not. I do entertainment work, criminal work, civil work, insurance fraud. And people go, criminal? What's that? Entertainment? What does that mean? Like, you tell them you have to have a $5 million E&O policy. Well, what does that mean? What's E&O? Like, you have to have a professional license. Oh, does that mean a business license? No, that's a separate issue. Well, how do you do that? Like, oh my God. And sometimes this is from college educated people that say these stupid things. You do what you enjoy. That's what YouTube is for. Exactly. Uh, Pauline says, yeah, we love you. I love all you guys. And I'm so happy that Bob came in because I haven't had a chance to go into your channel lately. But I do lurk sometimes. But I'm just so busy with my own. Oh, and Bob, if you haven't already done so, I wasn't going to do it. I didn't know there was such a thing. But several of my viewers suggested that I open an Amazon wish list. And it's not like affiliated links. It's just like make a wish list and put the link on your channel page. And I did. And this month, it's been kind of dead. But between April, May, and June, it just like blew up. And, all kinds of things were coming in. And I know there's always stuff that you need for having your channel, like equipment you need or things you need for the gold hunting. Go find make your to-do list of, things that you need and put it up there on the back end of your channel, and you'd be surprised what might come in your mail. But you should have a separate address set up like I have for my PI business so that you're not handing out like your home address. I know. I've been getting all the crazy comments about the Eagles, about Jackie and some of the ill-informed people who think she should be just ripped from that rescue and set free to go fly with her family. What they don't understand is that she's so sick that she wouldn't even be able to fly if they did that. So, yeah. Some people are ignorant, and then they're like, well, I don't appreciate you calling them ignorant, and like, because it was probably them that said those stupid comments. And I'm not going to watch it anymore. Okay. But they took the time to watch and they took the time to comment. Yeah, you should do it, Bob. Because you know what? I need some gold things. And I have those up on my list. But so far, I've received a lot, but I've received like clothing items, like shoes, socks, some makeup, some stuff for the rabbit, a cat toy that I needed because we can never find the laser pointer. So we have a backup one now, which has really saved me when she wants to play. I've got some food gift cards like DoorDash, Amazon, things like that. Nobody's bought me a bag of gold yet, but it's up there, and I got the smallest bags I can find up there. I also need the classifiers because I had some dirt that came in that turned out to have nothing in it the other day, but it had some big rocks and then some medium-sized rocks and some small rocks, so that would have really helped. But go check out my list, and then you can kind of see like how it works, Bob. And then you might want to think about setting that up since you are a monetized channel. Like, it wouldn't hurt. It's helped me a lot. Like, oh my God, like it's helped me so much. But just make sure that if you give them your home address, that will be publicly known to anybody who accesses that list. So, yeah, you might want to, have a private mailbox or something somewhere. Yeah, I put that on my list, but nobody's hit me for any of the gold stuff yet. Everybody's just like sending me things that I need for my channel, which has really helped because I need so much. And nobody needed to do anything, but it was some of my channel members, or actually my viewers, who said you should put that up. Hey, Careless, how you doing? And how are you feeling, my friend? Oh yeah, the glasses. Somebody sent me a whole pack of these, and they're all like different colors, and they've got like a blue tinge to them, so it protects my eyes, and it really helps me with my vertigo when I'm live because I'm like super sensitive to it. What about this hair? There's nothing new about the hair, Careless. You'll have to watch from the beginning. Oh, you sent the glasses, Weird Wig. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, my friend. Let's see. And these have helped me so much. Like, I should have ordered these a long time ago because I have the wrong monitor. I have a gaming monitor, but I'm not a gamer. And I should just have a regular monitor that I can turn the brightness way down, especially with my vertigo. Let's see. Oh yeah, you sent me the glasses, the laundry soap, the face serum, the rabbit hay. Yeah, you sent me a ton of stuff, Weird Wig. Thank you. But it's just like little things like that, Bob. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. But it might help. And if you do it, let me know so I can go check it out. And then I can, support your channel too. So it's so nice to see. We got two people from the gold community in here today. Bob and Carolus. Yeah. Oh, and I only had the goal set for 30 minutes, so I just have to set another one because it keeps going up and down on my screen, and that can trigger my vertigo too. I don't want that to happen, so I'll just set it for 30 minutes, and I won't even be on that long, but because I've already gone too long. Let me just put something in there because it is so distracting to me. I'm just weird with no wig. Now, you sent some awesome stuff, and that Neutrogena stuff has helped me so much because I had been out of that for so long. And I still have 1¼ bags of that rabbit hay left, so that's awesome. I was getting a lot of the diet ginger beer, but I haven't seen that lately. In fact, I think this month I just received some rabbit treats from Kelsa's, which thank you. She much appreciates those. Those are her favorite. But I have to hide them from her because she would get the whole bag if she could. Bob, I watched Ella's pay dirt they sent her. Super cute. I just don't get to comment anymore. Silent watcher. Oh, okay. So somebody sent Ella pay dirt? That's awesome, Bob. Like I said, I've just been like so busy. Because I've been mostly reporting the Nancy Guthrie thing, and then, this thing happened with Jackie, our local Eagles, but the whole world is like watching that story, and I'm just praying that it's going to turn out positive because, I have to be, me being a PI, it's just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. I am realistic that situation, may not have a positive outcome. And the Nancy situation is awful. But I do believe that they do have to find who did it, and they have to find Miss Nancy. You have a couple of gold pans, Weird Wig, but haven't been out this year to pan. What area are you in, Weird Wig? Yeah, I did a video on it last night, Careless. Well, it was yesterday afternoon, my time. And that video, and it's not the first. I have a whole playlist now on Jackie, but that video that I released just last night has already got over 34,000, close to 35,000 views. And that's gained 623 subscribers since 5 o'clock my time. Less than 24 hours, I gained 600 plus subscribers on that. You're north of me. Oh, okay. I have them on Facebook. We have so many eagles here. People would freak out. Can't have enough nest cams for these babies. Wow. I wish we had them here. Like, I've never seen one like in Los Angeles. But they've had to fly over because they've come from Catalina into Orange County up to Big Bear. But I've never seen one in LA. I know, Kelsers. I hope we know more on Nancy from Derek Kalella in September. A lot could happen, Kelsers, between now and September, just saying. A lot can happen. Oh, wow. Bob says, I'm right on the river. There are 3 nests within a mile of my house. Are you still in the same property, Bob? The one that is near the train? Which I think is kind of neat. Are you still near the train? You have about 45 nests, one very close. Wow, Careless. That's awesome. Yes, you are. Okay. That's cool. It might not be cool for you if it's like going by your house all night long, though. We had a train track nearby when I lived on the Gulf Coast, and I get a little sentimental every time I hear the whistle of a train. You don't notice it anymore. It's kind of like Angelino sleeping through the earthquakes. Unless it's something catastrophic that didn't even know it happened. Oh. Yeah, Eagles have made a wonderful comeback. I think I had a dream last night, something about an eagle, but now I don't remember. Where do we gotta run, April? So good to see you. Good to see you too. I'm going to the mountains next week and hopefully get in the creek. I hope you're gonna bring your gold pans, Weird Wig. Oh wow, Careless. She says, Bob, I feel the same about the C-130s and the Hercules. I don't even notice it anymore. We live at the end of the runway. Oh my God, that's awesome. I would assume you're near an Air Force base, Careless. You're absolutely going to bring your gold pans. You know, I want someone to go out in the wild and just shovel me a scoop full of dirt. And I've had a couple people here offer, or that I've asked, and the mail's still empty. And I'm like, I'll pay for the postage. I'll pay for the envelope. I'll pay for everything. Just go out and, get me a bag full of dirt. Oh, the reserves. Okay. Wow. That's cool. I love plane watching. I'd be out there filming it. They probably shake the house just as bad as the trains. I bet. Thank you for the star, Rita Close. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I know what state you're in, Careless, but I'm not going to say here. I'm not going to release private information unless you want to say what base are you near. That's just cool. I'd love to be out there just plane watching. I've got some airplanes, trains, planes, and automobiles videos, but those are pretty old. Depends if they're squirrel hunting or not. That's like thunderstorms here. The thunder shakes our windows. Now, see, I'd be freaked out over that. I'd have PTSD from my childhood when I lived in the south of the storms and the hurricanes and the tornadoes. And my animals would freak out, especially my cat. But that's, I guess, expected in Kansas. Do you have a basement or a storm shelter, Kelsers? I hope so. I just sleep right through it. Yeah, it's just like an Angelino sleeping through earthquakes. Yes, you have a basement. See, that would be good when I was a metal detectorist, to have a basement and, have all my stuff down there that I could go through in the winter, But we never really have winter out here. But I see the East Coasters with their basements, like, oh, I'm going to put everything down in the basement and do my laundry in the winter from all my beach towels and my shirts and my hats, and do my coin tumbling and do my jewelry cleaning and, my polishing and my sorting. It would be so cool to have, like, we had that in Maryland. We had a basement. We had a pool table and a dartboard. And it was fun. Careless says, I have a basement and an under basement. Cool. I'd love to have a basement, especially with all the noise around me in the big city. If it's soundproof, I would sleep down there. But at my age, I'd probably fall down the stairs or something, Oh my gosh. See, every place has got its pros and its cons. Right now, we're in the con part of LA with the weather. Jackie West, April, I saw Shadow and the Subby last night. Oh, cool. Shadow was in the roost tree and Subby was in the twin pine tree. Saw them early this morning too. Dr. Sharp restored the bald eagle population. You know what? I had cam 1 and cam 2 on and I didn't see anybody. But then I was doing, back in YouTube stuff. But thank you for letting me know, Jackie, that you did see Shadow, because, I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. But I do like, even when the eagles are not nesting, I like to have the nest cam on, because I love it when the coyotes start to howl. And I did see Fiona, the flying squirrel, make an appearance the other night. Gotta run, April. It was great catching you. So glad I typed this time. Have a blessed day. Bye, Carol. It's great seeing you. Thank you, Bob. And thank you once again for the more than generous super chat. Not necessary, my friend, but thank you. What's really left to figure out on what occurred at Nancy's house? I think nothing. Yeah, I'll check in with you soon. And let me know, Bob. Send me an email if you're still here. Send me an email about what the costs are, for like a small pay dirt bag. I may have to wait for a couple more checks to come in, though. Oh, I didn't know that. Because I just bought something from them, Jackie. She says FOBBV has a Fiona plushie, too. She's adorable. I made the order and it said it can take a couple weeks to go out. But they printed a label like within a day or two. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get it quick because it's just from Big Bear to LA. Like, how long could it take? And you know what? That package has never moved. I don't even think it's been packaged. Maybe they wait until they have like a certain amount. Because I doubt, Fawn Skin has a post office. They probably have to drive all the way around the lake to Big Bear. And they don't want to do that every day because it's probably some volunteer. But they printed the label. Nothing. So if you order from them, like if you order from their gift shop, expect that to be what they say on their website, that it could be a 2-week wait just to ship your package. And I know it's coming from there because I have informed delivery connected to my home address that says I have a package, or I have a label that was printed in fawn skin. I'd call customer service and just check. There is no way to contact them. You mean FOBBV? Fun question. What's the attraction of coyotes being all over LA? Because we're living in wildlife. This is basically a desert that's been urbanized, that's surrounded by a national forest. We got bears, coyotes, mountain lions. It's awesome. I mean, it's not as wild as, let's say, if I moved to Anchorage, Alaska, wild. We don't have moose, licking our windows. I got people I watch up there where they come up in the summer and they lick your front window. They're licking the living room window. You got video of a moose's tongue like licking the window. We don't have anything like that here, but it's just part of LA. We have all the things too, just not poisonous snakes or spiders, just the brown recluse. Yeah, we've had a tremendous amount of rattlesnake bites this year in Los Angeles, more than the usual. But there was a lady last week, and she lived in Santa Clarita, which is here in LA. It's about 30 minutes from here. And she was out in her driveway in her bare feet. And she decided to bend over in her driveway and reach into some shrubs. And not only did she get bit once, but she got bit twice, because in the amount of time that it takes for your eyes to blink, your eyes just blink all the time and you don't notice it. In the blink of an eye, a rattlesnake can hit you not once, but twice. And she got bit like right in the lower leg or the foot, like bam, bam. And then she panicked and ran into the house. Then they couldn't get a cell signal because she's in Stevenson's ranch, and her husband was like, just get in the car. But she ran screaming for her husband. And of course, that got her heart pumping in her bloodstream, because she was running. And I did feel sorry for her because it's hell. It's absolute hell. If I had that happen, I'd probably die. But I wouldn't have been standing out in my bare feet either. But even if she had had shoes on, if it hit her above the shoes, she still would have got hit. But you don't reach into a bush like that, And I'm not victim blaming, but they got the whole thing on video from her security cam from her house, and you can't even see it because it's just like boom, boom, and then all of a sudden there's the snake, and she's like, ah, too late. My neighbor down the road has a mountain lion in his ditch that was not alive. Someone hit it, and that was crazy to us because normally they don't travel this far east from Colorado. Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't know that either, that there could be one in. Are you, without naming like your address, what part of Kansas are you in? Oh. Oh. Wow. Carla says mountain lions are moving into Ohio big time, starting to take over the bobcat population. Yeah, we have a lot of those around. I've actually seen a few here, bobcats. I've seen a couple rattlesnakes in the wild here too. We even have rattlesnakes at the LA Zoo, and I'm not talking about the ones that are in the snake enclosure. They have like a little building for the reptiles and the snakes, but they actually have like wildlife in the zoo, including P22, the mountain lion that is sadly no longer with us. They've got wild peacocks in the zoo, but I didn't see them after the pandemic. In fact, half of their animals were gone. The zoo is in peril of being closed, actually. It's really a horrific situation at the LA Zoo right now. But a couple of their animals, especially the chimps, have been killed from rattlesnakes at the top of the zoo. Yeah, there's just certain things you don't do out here. You don't reach your hand into something you can't see. Trust your instinct. I get rattlesnakes in my backyard. Wow, where do you live? You've only seen 3 bobcats your entire life. I've seen 2. Both in Studio City. Oh my God! Oh my, everybody. Let me bring up my screen. Sarah, let me heart that. Everybody give him a thumbs up. How you doing, my friend? You know, somebody came in here yesterday, Sarah, and said, have we seen our friend Sarah lately? And I'm like, yeah, I just saw him yesterday. Some came, it was a guy that I think might actually be a minor who comes in here. And I tell him, like, hey, if you're going to watch, you have to ask your parents. And he came in and he was asking about you. Sarah! What a day. Oh my gosh. Oakland Zoo had an animal massacre in 1980, never caught perps. Oh, that's terrible, Hobble One. I remember when Philadelphia Zoo had a fire, and I'd actually been there into that chimp enclosure, and several of them, well, all of them passed away. It was so sad. I know we've gotten way off topic here, but you know, that's why we're here. We can talk about Nancy and then we can talk about whatever. We've had the gold community come in today. We got Careless and we had Bob from B&B Prospecting. Although I have not seen Curmudge from Alaska and I have not seen Hearts of Gold Prospecting from Maine. Hurrah! Not necessary, my friend. You know, you can come in here, Saroff, anytime and just like talk. I try to look at the bright side of ecology, but it's getting tougher. Saroff! Coming in with the Israeli shekels, the new Israeli shekels. Because I know there's a difference between the old and the new. Thank you. We even had Canadian Super Chat today. We've had Canada, the United States, and now all the way from Tel Aviv, Israel, our #1 channel supporter, Mr. Saraf Null. Thank you so much, my friend. You're always welcome to come in and you don't need to throw the super chats. And thank you for the jewels today. I'm up to $1.23 in jewels. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, if you missed the beginning of this, go back to the beginning on the replay and you can hear some of the updated information on the Nancy Guthrie case. But there's nothing here that I've reported today that stands out like, oh, this is going to be it, you know. Saraf! We've reached the goal. Have a great weekend. Soon. Thank you. Everybody give Saraf a thumbs up on his very generous super chats. Appreciate you, my friend. And I just heard the ding ding. Where are we? Let me go to the video analytics. Let me go to the back end. YouTube Studio. Where are we at? Wow, we're at 6810. That's crazy because I just hit 6K the other night and it's already up to 6810. And as I said earlier, we're almost up to 1 million views. But you guys are not going to see it on the front end on the main channel page because those are the views, not including the privatized videos or the deleted videos. But on the back end, I can see under analytics and clicking views and going to lifetime. They probably haven't done today's update because this update came in late last night. So probably the middle of the night it'll update. It's up to 98 or 982.9K. So we're almost up to 983,000 views. We're 17,000 views away from 1 million. Who would have ever thought, right? And I thank each and every one of you for watching. Because my views, when I watch my own videos, they don't count. I mean, maybe the first couple or something, but that's it. I can't just like watch my channel and just like I can't hype my own videos. I can't send myself a membership or a super chat. I mean, could I? Could I send a super chat to myself and then give away, like, since I'm Apple, 52% of the money? You go, girl, says Jackie. I'm trying. I am trying. So yesterday, like I said, all the comments were positive, especially about Jackie, except for the one guy that was so mad because I'm not a veterinarian and I shouldn't be like talking about this on YouTube. So I guess the people that are talking about it on the news, I guess reporters, they shouldn't report the news. There should be no newspapers, no TV stations, no internet, News is not allowed. You can't talk about Jackie unless you're a veterinarian. I never said I was a vet. I'm a PI, but I'm not investigating Nancy Guthrie. We're just reporting it. Kelser's with the party hats and the April Davis PI channel members' custom emojis. I see the detective, Amelia Kinsley bunny, Kelsa Kinsley kitty, the happy face, the movie camera, the YouTube, the baseball, of course, the palm tree, the July 4th happy face, and we're even going for Halloween with the jack-o'-lantern, the ghost, and we got the giraffe with the monocular. I love the giraffe. I have a giraffe picture in my bedroom that I inherited from my friend Kelsa. Gets me very emotional. That's the last thing I see before I go to bed at night, and it's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning. And it was taken by her from a giraffe sanctuary that she would have never, like the public doesn't have access to it, but she was able to get in there because of her TV show that was on the Weather Channel for 4 years. So she got to, get up close and personal with the giraffes. Mine too, Kelsers. See some of my LA Zoo videos, and it basically focuses on Reggie the alligator, the chimps, the monkeys, and the giraffes. I love them. I would love to have like a big, like bronze, like giraffe statue in my living room. The heck, it would probably fall over in an earthquake, so maybe that's not a good idea. Jackie says, oh, now, Jackie and Shadow are global superstars. Absolutely. And like I've already explained to you, without, beating the cancer drum to death, why they mean so much to me. And besides praying for Jackie, we got to keep Shadow in our prayers too, because, his heart is busted into a million pieces right now. He doesn't know that Jackie is at the Ojai Raptor Center and that they're trying to save her life and that she's sick. He just knows that she's gone and he doesn't understand why. And in the meantime, the babies have obviously flown the coop as they're supposed to. Hopefully they have enough skills that they learned from Shadow while Jackie was too sick to teach them towards the most recent weeks. Like, let's hope they have enough skills to survive. I think they'll do okay. I'm worried about Shadow, and of course my heart is with Jackie. She must be so scared. Hey, Julie. I'm 90 minutes into this almost, so I'm going to have to leave soon. But if you haven't seen the whole thing, you can always go back on the replay. And thank you to everybody. If anybody's here that saw last night's Jackie video, it's funny, within about 24 hours, it completely slows down, but it's just sitting at under 35K views. I was like amazed. It's possible the kiddos are still getting food from Dad's Shadow. That's possible. I will go back and watch. Thank you, Julie. You worked for 5 years at a wildlife center. Oh, that's cool. Wonderful show. Thank you, Kelsers. I'm glad you came in. South Central Kansas has cougars and mountain lions. Oh, wow. Or cougar mountain lions, yeah. Cougars, pumas, mountain lions, all the same thing. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I guess they're coming down from Colorado. Because I guess once you get past the Rocky Mountains in Colorado and you start coming down the hill towards Kansas, it's just flat as a pancake. It's like Texas. I didn't know that. Even southern Colorado is like a desert, and eastern Colorado is like the plains. And I've heard that Montana's like that too. Like part of the state is like in the Rocky Mountains, and then once you get to the east and you're heading towards the Dakotas, there's just nothingness. I have seen a mountain lion before, but not in the wild, although they are around this area. Yeah, P22 to Angelinos was like the world's Jackie, you know. That was our boy. Ah, get so emotional thinking about P22. Everybody, don't hurt the wildlife. Don't put out any rat poison. Because, you know, whatever is affecting Jackie, we don't know what, they don't know yet what has caused this with Jackie. And it's very possible she may have been poisoned. And if she may have been poisoned, you have to wonder, did Shadow have access to the same source? I hope not. Because we don't know if that's the cause yet, but that's a possibility that's on the table. Well, thank you. Jackie says, thank you so much, April, for keeping us so informed about Jackie and Nancy. I'm so glad to have found your website. Thank you. I never knew that about Kansas. See, I learned so much. That's so cool. Yeah, don't hurt the wildlife. They were here first. Same with the coyotes. People are up in arms about the coyotes. Like, this is their home. Patricia, hello. I'm 92 minutes into this, so I gotta go off the air. Gotta go eat for the day. And just like take a break. But if you missed the beginning, go back on the replay. Everybody, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the jewels. Hopefully you've seen last night's Jackie video. If you'd like to go send that a hype, feel free to use your free hype points. You too, Kelsers. You guys all have a great evening. Go have something good to eat. It's Thursday. Relax. Pray for us Angelinos because the worst of the heat is coming this weekend. So glad to see you. Are you loving your new couch? Yes. The only problem is I'm like afraid to sit on it. It's not as like cozy as the last one. It's still comfortable, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to spill anything. Like, you know, I don't want to get it dirty. And so far, the new scratcher, so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood, the new cat scratcher is working out with the cat. And she only tried to scratch it once that I know of. And I was like, oh, no. And then I gently picked her up and put her on the scratcher. And she was like, so I'm trying to train. And then the rabbit got, you know, to the point where she decided she was going to test out underneath the sofa last night because she hadn't done that yet. She finally got brave and was like, let me go check it out. But it does have wooden legs, 4 wooden legs. They're not very big. They're not big blocky ones like the last sofa. They're more rounded, where the other sofa had like wooden blocks, but it had edges on them, where the round ones are just like columns. Because I don't want her to go over and decide she's going to, you know, file her teeth on the legs. Get a covering soft blanket. Yeah, I actually have a towel, like, because I'm like, it's not on the sofa, but I have it near the sofa. Like because I live in a very small place. I don't have a kitchen table. So I always eat on the sofa and the coffee table. But I'm scared to do that now because I don't want anything to spill because I know I'll wreck it before the animals will wreck it. I know I got to sit on the new couch. I'm like, if I had a bigger apartment, I could get one of those like reclining chairs just to sit in, but no, there's no place to put a chair. I have my desk chair and my couch, and my next goal is to replace the bed. So if, some big donation comes into the channel, that's the next thing on the list is to replace the bed. And I also need to replace the kitchen garbage can because for some reason my cat is terrified of that garbage can, and I'm not sure why. I think she tried to jump up into it and the lid like went up and it scared her. If I just walk over there and take the lid off to grab the bag to take it out to the trash, she immediately runs and hides either in the closet or under the bed. She's terrified of the trash can. So I need to get a new one and like unpack it in front of her and say, look, this is, make it a game so she's not scared of the trash can because she's nervous about that trash can every day. But I definitely, the next thing on my list is a bed. It's a long list of things to be replaced. If I didn't get sick and didn't have my disability and I could still have my 6-figure PI business, I would just go out and buy a new bed and a new tie bed and the new garbage can and not worry about the sofa or the cat scratching it and going, you know what, I can just replace it every year or whatever. But it's been so long coming just for the couch. And even though my Thai family lady, she's still recovering from her medical emergency, she has seen it like in pictures and she's like, oh, I love it, I love it. So I'm like, okay, I got the Thai family's approval on the couch, but I haven't sat on it like, oh, I don't want to dent the couch. I gotta like, this is my couch. I got to sit here and enjoy it. So I'll do that tonight after I eat. I'll sit on the couch. That's the plan. But thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, once again for the super chats, the jewels, the likes, the thumbs ups, the red hearts, the party hats. Go hype my my Jackie video from yesterday. Keep everybody in your prayers. And, if something breaks, I'll come back on the air later. Thank you.